See, I get lot of mails from many people, and they ask me about what exactly is self-inquiry. What are the stages involved in that? What I have we to do to know what the I is? These are few questions that arise in everybody's mind. So briefly, I will just go through what exactly we have to do as a sadhak, as a seeker. There are basically 4 stages or 4 steps that any seeker or sadhak will benefit by knowing about these stages. The first is acceptance. Acceptance of your present state of beingness. Many people have difficulty in that. Everybody is reading lot of things. Everybody is reading about Edgy's shower experience, the autobiography of Gyani, and many other beautiful books which are there. And they are not finding or coming in terms with their own beingness. That is not a correct thing to do. I feel the first step, any beginner or intermediate or advanced disciple, whoever it is, must first learn to accept his current state of beingness. Whatsoever it may seem like. It could be the body awareness, it could be the I-ness, it could be an energy movement within the body, it could be a feeling of emptiness, anything. There should not be any shame in admitting what your present state of beingness is. People want to reach to a state, and that is a difficult problem. The reaching is nothing but by the mind. There is no way to reach anywhere. So first step is acceptance. Only when you accept can you truly love. Can love be there without acceptance? Can you truly love without acceptance? You have a child. You love him. You accept him. Howsoever it is. Howsoever he seems. Or he appears. So acceptance leads to love. And love is acceptance. That is number one. So you must treat your present state of beingness as if he was your own child. And that is where you have to begin your relationship with your beingness. By truly accepting unconditionally that this is my present state of beingness and I am going to sink inside of it. I am going to love it. That is number one. Number two, acceptance does not mean that we leave it unattended. Acceptance means that we watch over it continuously, be aware. Don't we do the same thing with our child? We love our child, so it does not mean that we leave it, howsoever he is. We keep a watch. Every movement is watched. And that is how the relationship develops. That is how it develops. Flowers. How it has gone to that state. It is by watching, observing, daily, deeply, seeing its all its forms. So we must continuously watch over our state of beingness. That is the second. The third state. What happens when we are continuously aware or continuously observe our state of beingness? We will know that that awareness, that continuous watching, that continuous observing has resulted in our beingness changing form. The beingness has changed its nature. That will happen automatically. We are not changing anything here. What have we done? We have simply observed. We have simply been aware. We have kept a watch on it. And that watch itself is enough. That watching, that loving, that acceptance will lead us there. We will see that or observe that the beingness has actually changing form. It has become something else. And as my beingness changes form, that I, the one entity, also changes form. The observer becomes the observed. It is the nature of the observer to become the observed. So what have we done from these three stages? We have changed nothing. We have not even looked at the eye. What we have done is we have been only aware, observed our state of beingness. And as that beingness changes form, automatically the I also follows it. It too changes form. That I is completely dependent on that beingness. Completely. As your beingness is, so shall be your I. So one must not worry what that I is. One must completely attend to that state of beingness lovingly, affectionately. That is the third. And the last stage, or the last stage, is as long as we are becoming something, as long as the observer is there, know that the I still exists for you. That is a very important point. Many people stop. They have some experience of oneness. They have some experience of nothingness, emptiness. They observe their nothingness. They even become nothingness. And then they stop. They feel there is nothing more to do. I have become nothing, or I have become joy, or I have become something. That is it. But the fact is, As long as you are becoming, there is this I. Because who tells me that I have become something? Unless and until there is an I who has observed this. So that I still is there. Inquiry has not come to an end. Inquiry comes to an end when there is neither the observer, neither the observed, and neither observation. No witnesser, no witnessing, no witnessed. Till that time, self-inquiry is not complete. So we must not give up in the very end. All becoming, everything that we become is false. It is still an illusion. Today I am Joanne or Dennis or Janet. Tomorrow I become something else. Then I become something else. But who is telling you this? There is someone who's telling you this. So he remains. As long as I know that I have become something, it is still not complete self-inquiry. Self-inquiry completes when I become unknown. That is it. These are the four states. I have tried to explain through my experience and through what I learned from Guruji, Shri Edji, what he imparted to me, this knowledge. And I have tried to put it as simple in words as possible. Yeah, Tim, hi. Hello.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Tim.
You constantly refer to your beingness.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe how you attend to your beingness? Or how we should attend to our beingness?
See, when you are starting off as in your spiritual journey, you always know that you exist.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
That sense of existence is what we have to hold. Now, it could be the totality of your body. It could be energy movement within you, which is stirring, or an energy at the heart, or anything. You have to decide that. For some people, it is also on the forehead, or it could be in the navel. So each has their own sense of beingness to start off. There is no one sense of beingness for everybody. So you decide that what it is and hold on to that. Initially, you will feel that the I is only the beingness. And that is true. The I is a beingness only. The gross body is watching all the gross states happening. It has seen the gross material, the gross matter, and it has become. When you go to more subtle, then the subtle body sees all the subtle matter and it becomes more refined. When it becomes even more subtle, then it becomes a causal state, as we call. I'll give you a small example. You have a block of ice, right?
Yes.
You watch the block of ice and you watch it. You keep watching it. What happens? It melts. Now that block of ice has melted into water. Hasn't it changed form?
Yes.
Now you heat that water. What happens to that water? It becomes vapor, steam. You watch it. You are still able to watch it. That steam. It has become more subtle. The same block of ice becomes water. The same water becomes steam. And that same steam disappears. You do not know where it has gone. Unknown. That changing of this form is what your beingness will undergo. From gross to subtle to more subtle to more subtle, and finally, just like that steam, it will just completely disappear. That is what happens with us. We disappear.
Oh. I understand.
And then we can say that I do not exist. Not like how other people say, I do not exist when there's still the ice block. Because they know that Ramana Maharshi, Edgy, and everybody says that I do not exist. Robert Adams says I do not exist. So this is a mental knowing. That process from the ice to that vapor and from that vapor to disappearance must actually take place with you. It has to actually take place. I am again stressing this point again and again. It is not a mental knowing. It is actually happening. It actually happens. When that same vapor goes to sky, it comes back again as rain and gets transformed again as gross ice. Again, when it is put in the refrigerator, you see the same thing get into ice. This is what happens with us. We disappear every night, but we do not see the process. And that same ice evaporates, and that same evaporation comes back as ice. And we are identified with that block of ice. You see the problem?
I understand, yeah.
And what happens when we know? that I do not exist? Or what happens when we know that I was the ice and then I disappeared and I became the ice again? What happens? Don't we then know that we are beyond birth and death? Because I see myself disappearing, and then I see myself appearing again. Haven't I conquered both life and death? I see it happening in front of my eyes. I have transcended both birth and death, and that is the reality. Birth and death are both unreal. They don't take place. It is all appearance.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pranams, Rajiv.
Pranams. Correct.
So first I would like to thank you for telling us that meditation is not a job. That was very beneficial to hear for me.
Yes.
I meditate more than ever, but I just sit when I want to sit, and that
Yes.
feels so good.
Yes. It's good.
Yes. And then the question is, I think you stated in the Hunting the Eye script that beingness and Kundalini is the same. I come
Beingness
from and Kundalini is the same. I come from a Kundalini guru and a Kundalini path, and I have pretty strong energy movements.
Okay.
And if I focus on those energy movements, and especially in my head, is that the same as focusing on the beingness? Or
yes.
Yeah, that's the question.
Sorry, the question is? I'm sorry, Eric.
If I focus on the energy movements in the head,
yeah,
because that's where I mostly feel
yes,
it.
because all
as focusing on the beingness.
Okay. Well, this is a very technical question that you asked me, and I'll tell you from my experience.
Okay.
I come from a Kundalini background too. I did Kriya Yoga for 13 years of my life. And I've done very intensive Kriyas, very intensive. I have done Kumbhaks. I have done Khechri Mudra. It is supposed to be the king of all mudras. If you carry any Patanjali Yoga Sutra book, or you take any Yoga Shastra book, they say, Na Khechri Samudra, means there is no mudra like the Khechri Mudra. And it helps a lot of way in order to bring your tranquility to your breath and focus onto the third eye. And most of Kundalini gurus, and including what I did for so many years of my life, I had focused on the third eye. Because that is where most Kundalini seems to, right from a Muladhar to your Agya Chakra, it triggers the Kundalini. Yes, sure.
Can I say something? My guru was pretty unconventional in that sense. She always told us to not focus on the third eye, only the heart.
Okay.
So I always been trying to shift my focus down into the heart, but the energy has always been wanting to flow into the head instead.
So then you must then if it is flowing, then it has some work to be done there.
Okay.
If you are going to force that Kundalini or Shakti energy to your heart forcefully, it is not going to help. You will feel it very unnatural.
Yeah.
So rather let it work out.
So it will be okay. I focus on the head now.
You can
Because she was
focus. Yes, Eric.
She was always telling us not to focus on the third eye because it always only brings phenomena.
That is true. It does bring phenomena, and ultimately you have to transcend that. But now, if things are happening, if you have begun something which is there like a Kundalini movement, then it is traveling to a path. So let it unfold. There is no rule in the book.
Oh.
You are your guru also, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very good to hear.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you.
So let it unfold. Let it unfold. There is no need to rush. You will come to the heart. That I will assure you.
Yeah.
Because yes, because that movement to the third eye, and then to the Sahasrara from your third eye, top of your head, it has to go and meet in the heart. Has to. And that will happen automatically. You are not to force it. I am not in that favor personally, that people must change. We tell people to focus on the heart if people are started out, or it's a good practice because we can avoid all these phenomena and all those things, because people get carried away. There's nothing wrong with phenomena. Everything happening around us is phenomena only. There's nothing wrong in phenomena. But the problem is people get so much influenced by those phenomena that they do not know how to handle that. So there is a proper preparation which is required for that, how to deal with that. That also your inner guru will tell you. It will happen, and sometimes someone will appear to you who will guide you also. So there is nothing to worry.
Oh, that's good to hear.
If your energies are happening on the top of the head or on the third eye, let it happen. See what happens. Only be a witness, sir. Remember this. Be aware of it.
Yes. Thank you very much. Very helpful.
Thank you,
so
Eric.
I explore the third eye now.
Your wish. You must let it happen on its own. Keep yourself out of this.
Okay.
Keep yourself out of it. Let that energy work the way it has to work. It is far intelligent. Far more intelligent. See, every map which is given by any spiritual teacher has its significance. But ultimately, the playground is you. And you have to fight that battlefield.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like I'm in control either. It's the energy that decides
Yes,
to happen.
I know. That is what I'm saying. So you do not think. Let it work. Let it work. You just witness. Be aware of it. And you will see. You will see. Right now it looks very natural to you. And you will see that it will come down to your heart center. That is where the Kundalini completes its journey.
Yeah.
It will happen.
Thank you.
That is where that Shiv-Shakti union happens, my friend.
Union.
Yes. That is the yogic way of saying union. There is no union actually, but we have to use these concepts.
Yeah.
You know, we have to use different languages sometimes. We can say the Shiv Shakti union or the Kundalini has arisen. It means the same thing. Or the Nirvikalpa Samadhi or some Samadhi. So these are all names. It's okay.
Yeah.
They are concepts.
All right, thank you so much for your time. I'll try to keep this short.
Yes, Nathan. Hi. Yes. No, it's okay. Tell me, no problem. Tell me. Yes.
This last year, I've had some experiences of observing sleep, actually falling asleep and waking up. And on one occasion, actually, the entire night, it was really quite amazing. And I'm starting to see that it seems like the only value of any of these experiences in meditation or sleep or whatever is to prove beyond any doubt that you're beyond all of that.
100% correct.
But I'm finding too my desire to get back to that and to want to repeat these sort of things that happen spontaneously and that I had nothing to do with in the first place. And I guess my question is what to do from here, you know?
What choice do you have? See, you had a good experience and you want to repeat that experience. Who would want to repeat that experience? Who is it? If it is not the mind,
right,
who's playing this game.
Right.
So you have to understand that. You have to do what you were doing earlier. Unconditional love to your beingness. No expectation.
Right.
This expectation only is the reason why you are not seeing what you have already seen earlier. Because now the mind is projecting a replica of that.
Right.
And original is not seen. Though that your original is already you are there, but it is just not, you're not glancing at it at the moment. You are seeing a reflection of the mind.
Through memory.
That through memory, yes. So it is creating. It will tell you that you will need to put effort, or you will have to repeat. You will have to sit like this and do like this. All those juggleries that you have done earlier, you will repeat again and again. Rather, let it come spontaneous to you. What you can do, you can devote time and be a devotee to that very beingness which had given you that experience unconditionally. This is the first time, the first state what I told you, acceptance. If that stage has gone, then you do not chase it. Because there is no chasing. It is there.
Yeah.
But you are not looking at it. That's all.
The
problem is only with our vision. We want to see what our minds want us to see. So we don't do that mistake. We sit in silence and let whatever come, we remain there. In that sense of beingness.
Yeah.
If you want to put effort, put effort. At night or in the morning or whenever. But just don't have expectations that I have to reach somewhere, become something. All these things are only going to create more frustration in you.
Yeah, I can see
Rather
the
just
trap.
Yes, that is a trap. There is a trap. And when you do that unconditionally, you realize how things will start unfolding mysteriously on its own. It will start happening because you have accepted. Now the conflict is gone.
Yeah.
And you are watching it. That 4 states which I told you, the 4 stages. Now that is why I said these 4 stages can be used in anyone. You are an advanced disciple or a beginner or an intermediate student. It doesn't matter. Even the most advanced of all students has this problem with accepting. They want to go higher from what they are. Or repeat an earlier experience. How do you know that the experience you are going to get now or of the experience of becoming something is not much more better or more profound than what you had earlier? The memory is the problem.
Yes. Yeah, the hanging on to it.
The hanging on to it. That identification of your to that stage or that experience is a problem. You know that answer already, Nathan.
Yeah, the questions are answered almost right when they come up, but there's something, there are things that I think about, and so it feels good to just clear that out. But thank you very much.
Continue your sense of whatever you're doing. Just continue and see how it starts, how it comes true.
Thank you, Rajiv.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for your journal of your diary of Janani. I find it very helpful.
Thank you.
I have some questions related to your experience because I'm trying to see whether the things that I'm observing are delusion or whether I'm on the right track. And there's several things connected in my mind which may not necessarily be connected. And one of them is I can bring awareness at will, and if that's what it is, and then sometimes awareness will come unrequested. It just happens.
Yes.
Awareness feels like a heart feeling followed by a kind of sort of a flood into the mind, and then a change in perspective. So the things which appear to be in 3D almost a four-dimensional quality to them.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, well, maybe it's just because my eyesight is going, or my visual representations are just playing tricks on me. I just wanted to know, firstly, whether that is to be expected, or whether I'm just projecting.
See, what are you not projecting? The mind is projecting everything so far, including that your joy.
Yes.
Yeah. So projection is one thing. But you see what you are becoming. This experience that you have had is the experience of purity of your mind. As your mind gets purified, distilled, this kind of awareness, or what we call as the 3D effect that you're talking about, and complete oneness experience, these kind of experiences take place, and you are on the way for that experience.
Thank you for that. People talk about the oneness experience. When I hear that word, it doesn't quite, it doesn't fit with how it feels, and that's why I doubt it. See, when I look at my hands, they don't feel like my hands. They don't feel like, it doesn't feel like my body. But it feels like I'm observing.
Okay.
It feels like I'm observing this hand and this table and this PC, and it is the same. But it doesn't.
Exactly. See, now you yourself said this table, this fan, and everything feels the same. So that only I'm saying.
Sorry.
Is oneness. It is a connection. It is a kind of connection, and a word which is given in the waking state experience. I feel one with what I see in the waking state. I am extremely alert in that state. So I feel things are closer to me. I can relate to things much closer to my heart. And I feel this experience, which I call as oneness. Just one of the words that is used. That is to do with your purity of mind in your waking state. Many people who have this experience, they feel it is enlightenment, but it is not so.
Thank you. The other thing, which is quite funny, really, is the separation that I feel when I'm observing myself, and I'm observing joy. It seems a bit weird to say that, but when I'm observing joy do things, and I think you referred to sometimes you can will yourself to do things, and other times you don't will yourself to do things. Well, if I don't will joy to do things, well, then I end up doing really quite silly things. Like yesterday I drove to the wrong place because I didn't feel like I was engaged in what I was doing. That's quite different from being my old feeling of absent-mindedness. And I'm confused about the best thing to do, really. Because if I focus on if I focus on taking actions and consciously doing things, consciously inhabiting my body, then awareness goes. And yet if I leave awareness to be on its own, then I do. I don't carry out my plans very well. Do you know what I mean?
See, this problem, yes, it's a good question actually, what you've raised. There are experiences like that we all have gone through. And in our spiritual journey, these things are expected because we are making a sort of transition between states, from body to beyond body state. And initially this can take some time to adjust. So what we have to do is to hold on to that same state of beingness, the body and the mind will take care of itself. You must proceed only with your beingness, with your consciousness, that I amness which is within you. The body mind has its own intelligence. It is adept enough to take care of itself. By thinking more of what the body will doing and I am doing, and should I do this and should I not do that, it creates more conflict. Our focus of attention is very simple, one-pointed. Direction is very simple. Where you have connected right now, you connect to the same thing. You're proceeding very well. These problems or these kind of challenges which you are facing are genuine and they will come, but by paying more attention to the body is not going to help. Let it, leave it, it will take care.
Very much.
Thank you.